There are endless ideas for decluttering your workspace, and I have a few of those ideas myself. Hi bosses, welcome back to a BOH TV, where we come together to learn how to simplify your marketing, create more balance in your day-to-day schedule, and go from busy into a boss. Now, before we get into today's video, I just want to welcome you to my 31 weeks of productivity challenge here on YouTube. These next few weeks are going to be challenging. They are going to be motivating, and they are going to be very, very productive. The purpose of this challenge is to give you one action step that you can do every single week that's not going to take up too much of your time, that you can do to help increase your productivity and create more balance in your daily schedule as a business owner. We are going to be covering organizational tips like the topic that we're kicking things off with today, along with mindset shifts and productivity hacks to really just make sure that we're covering all bases. And the best thing about each of these challenges is that you can come back to them again and again and again. You don't need anything for this challenge, you just need you and a little bit of motivation. And I'll be here every single week with your action step for that week, and you have 7 days to complete it. And I'll be doing these with you as well, so if you want to take part and follow along, then make sure you tag me on your Instagram story at abranchofholly so I can see your progress and see how you're getting on. And then also make sure that wherever you talk about the challenge, make sure to use the hashtag PRODUCTIVITYBOSS, because you know we are all about that boss life. So today we are getting started with week number 1, and this week's challenge and your first challenge is to declutter your workspace. Now, unless I'm having a little bit of an off day, you can usually find me right here working at my desk in my home office pretty much 24/7. Now, everyone's workspace is going to look slightly different, but it's really important that you have a designated place to work so you can associate that place with you being your most productive self, the version of yourself that gets things done. But what I do know is that if your desk is a mess and you've got stuff all over the place and you can't even see the surface of your desk because there's so much on it, then we've got a problem, because that is definitely going to affect your productivity, and not in a good way. If your desk is a mess, then your head is a mess. That's the rhyme that I like to remember. So if it is the case that you have got a messy desk or a messy workspace and you need to sort it out, then I have 14 ideas to share with you today that are life-changing in their own way for many different reasons. They can make a massive difference to your life in general, and none of them require spending any money. Plus, they can work for you whether you've got a whole room dedicated to your home office, or you've got a desk in the corner of a room at home, or it's at your kitchen table. It really doesn't matter. But before we get into that, I am on a mission now with this channel and with this productivity challenge to help 10,000 people go from busy to boss. So you can help us do that by subscribing to this channel and helping us get towards our goal. So thank you so much for that. And if you haven't already and you're just about to, or if you have and you keep coming back, I just want you to know that I really do appreciate you. Okay, here are 14 life-changing ways that you can declutter your workspace starting today. Number 1, and the best place to start, have a simple system for decluttering. I don't know about you, but when I've got a mammoth task ahead of me and I haven't got a plan for getting started, I find it so difficult to actually get started in the first place. So when you start to declutter, you want to actually create a system that's going to allow you to get started, and that's going to make the whole process so much easier. So for example, you could have separate piles, or you could grab a couple of bin bags or some boxes and then grab some sticky labels, and then I like to separate things into these different piles. Trash, so what is going in the bin. Recycling, gotta do our bit for the environment. Shredding, anything that can be given away. anything that belongs in another room, and then anything you actually need to keep that lives in your office. Then you can start collecting everything from your office, everything from the top of your desk, everything from your drawers, and start putting them into these different piles. And every time you come to declutter, this is the system that you've got to follow. Number 2, really simple, but you've got to just start. I know decluttering is overwhelming. There is no way around that. But I can promise you that it won't get any less overwhelming the longer that you put it off. Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. So if you're not one of those people that wants to get it done all in one day, then take a few minutes today to just get started. Clear 1 piece of clutter or 2 or 12. It really doesn't matter as long as you just get started. Or you can set a timer for 10 to 15 minutes, clear some clutter, and then when that timer goes off, you go back to your regularly scheduled day. Bonus points if you block this out on your calendar. If you do this every day, you will be amazed at how quickly you hack your way through your workspace clutter. Number 3, have a quick win with a dump bin. One of my favorite hacks for decluttering any area of your house is to have a dump bin, and that gives you such a quick, fun organizing win. All you do is grab an empty box or a basket, whatever you've got in your house, and fill it with every single item that continues to keep cluttering up your desk. Then spend 5 to 10 minutes each day sorting through the items in the dump bin until it's empty. If you start clearing off the top of your desk, you'll feel immediate relief from the overwhelm that clutter causes. And you'll also know exactly where you need to find something if you end up needing it. The only thing with this hack is that you've got to take that time to actually go through the items in your dump bin and organize them, or else you've essentially just relocated your clutter, and that's cheating. I'm watching you. Number 4, only keep out what you use frequently. So I like to think that there's a everything hidden away / everything in view spectrum, and it's really going to vary where each of us fall in that spectrum. I only prefer to have the necessities out on my desk. My office lamp, my laptop, my water bottle, my calendar, my pen pot, my daily planner, and then just a few other trinkets and inspirational quote cards that I have on my windowsill. Everything else is tucked away out of sight. So you need to decide where you fall on that spectrum. You might prefer to have all of your office supplies out with your notepad and pens and other tools, or you might fall somewhere in the middle. No matter where you fall on the spectrum, for your desk in particular, only keep out the items that you use most frequently, aka the items that you use multiple times throughout the day. Number 5, assign every item a home. This is another simple and practical decluttering tip in general, but it works wonders for your workspace as well. When every item has a home, it makes tidying up after yourself a breeze. It's so easy to put items away and clear your desk in preparation for another productive day at work. Assigning a home for something could be as simple as putting your pen back in a pen pot, or it could be a little bit complex in terms of things like filing paper. But the point is that you know exactly where items belong and you know exactly where you need to find them when you need them. Number 6, use a desk tray to catch paper clutter. So it's highly likely that your home workspace is doing double or even triple duty. So it's important to have a catch-all filter for incoming items. An office inbox, or in other words, a desk tray, allows you to control the flow of information and papers that are coming into your office on a daily basis. It also means you can avoid having stacks of papers on your desk, and also means that you can review all of the information that's coming in. I especially like the clear acrylic trays. These are perfect if you want to avoid those bulky looking trays, and also if you want easy access to papers and notebooks as well. You can also customize these as well to make them look pretty, and I found a great tutorial online for this, so I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Number 7, clear your desk at the end of each day. Now I get it, it might seem like a lot of work to clear your desk at the end of each day, but it's going to be so refreshing for you to end the day and start the next day on a clean slate. I highly suggest clearing your workspace at the end of each day so you are greeted each new morning with a decluttered workspace. It's going to help you feel so much more creative and productive when you sit down at your desk each morning, and this is even more important if your desk space and your office space is where you do your morning routine, which for me it is. Honestly, this is probably the most life-changing habit on this list, because not only has it increased my organisation, but it's also allowed me to increase the energy that it takes in order to maintain that organisation. All you need to do is put all of your items away, which should be super easy now, especially if you followed the tips that we've just outlined, because every item should now have a home. File your papers, and again, this should be super quick, especially if your filing system is within an arm's reach of your desk space. And then put anything else on your desk away and make sure it is nice and tidy and exactly as you left it first thing this morning. By taking the time to do this each and every day when you clock off means you will never sit down to a cluttered workspace again. Your productivity will improve and your whole office and workspace will stay way more organised. I hope you're loving these tips so far, but I would love to hear from you. On a scale of 1 to 10, how messy is your workspace right now, and where do you think you need to improve the most? Let me know that in the comments. Number 8, get a daily planner. So if you've watched the videos on this channel for any length of time, or you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I love my Google Calendar. I live my life by it. It truly is wonderful. And I will admit that now it's almost impossible to function without them. I mean, where is your phone right now? It's probably right by you, or you're even watching this video on it. But I also think it is so important to have a daily paper planner. Having a visual physical planner helps our mind process the tasks that we need to complete. A daily planner is also a great way to have your notes and to-do lists all in one place, which means you can throw away all of those random post-it notes and just have everything in your daily planner. It also works as a great documentation system for things that have already happened. So if your memory is not 100% spot on, then your daily planner could end up being your best friend. The daily planner that I use is this one from Paperchase, and I absolutely love it. Number 9, eliminate distractions in your environment. Our mind is constantly being bombarded with information, so it's really important that we have a system to weed out everything apart from the essentials. And the first step with this is to eliminate any auditory or visual distractions in our environment. If your mind is full of off-target things, that is a massive productivity killer, because it's essentially just mind clutter. So here are a few things I find helpful to make your environment more conducive to a more productive day. First of all, reduce background noise. Turn off all notifications on your phone, or at least put it on silent when you're working, and definitely listen to lyric-free music, as this will really help with your concentration. If you are in an environment with people who are making a lot of noise, you could even get some noise cancelling headphones. They might not eliminate background noise altogether, but they can be a game changer when it comes to keeping you focused. And second is to reduce visual distractions. So we've already talked about how to reduce distractions on your desk, but there's also some other visual elements that could be distractions as well. Are you sitting by a window that has a lot of activity? Do a lot of different people walk by? Are you working with the TV on? If you can take care of little factors like this, I promise you, you will feel so much more productive. Sometimes even just shutting a door or changing the direction of your chair can solve a massive problem. Number 10, stay off social media. This area doesn't really require that much explanation, does it? I mean, it is what it says on the tin. I won't spend too much time on this, because I know that you know that spending way too much time on social media is a massive time suck. So if you feel inclined to look at your social media accounts throughout the day, especially when you're working, then maybe save it for when you're on your lunch break, or even as an afternoon treat. Although you might find it's not actually a treat after all. There are lots of different things you can do, but the point is, when you're in focused work time, unless you are using it for work, stay off it. Number 11, file your emails or delete them after you've addressed them. If you have your inbox open all the time, That is not the best relationship to have with your emails. Address your emails only a few times a day and take action on items immediately. Block that time out throughout your day. Turn off your email notifications, that constant telling you that you've got a new email coming through. If you don't do that, then you'll end up going off task and it'll be a massive time waster. Because as soon as you see that notification pop up, you won't be able to concentrate on anything else until you see what it is. Now, I realise that not every job will allow for this, but even just setting certain times of the day aside to look at emails, that is definitely doable. Number 12, keep plants in your office. There has been so much research around plants and productivity. Having plants in your workspace has been proven to make your workspace feel more calm and relaxed, and anything that is going to help reduce anxiety is going to lead to better productivity. So get a plant, or 5. Well, depending on how big they are, you don't want it to be a jungle. Number 13, use drawer dividers. I know what one of your drawers looks like in your workspace. You can't fool me, and the reason why I know this is because I have one that is exactly the same. Drawer dividers are perfect if you have messy drawers and want to get everything in order. It means you'll be able to keep everything organised, and you'll also be able to separate things by categories and everything. Plus, it'll save you so much time when you go start looking for an item in your drawers, because as soon as you open one of your drawers, you'll be able to see at a glance where everything is because of these dividers. I am putting that on my to-do list for an upcoming weekend, definitely. And number 14, make it your own. The most important thing to remember is that this is your workspace. It's where you work, and you need to make it work for you. It can turn into your haven, that safe space where you can go that's just yours. Your personal space, there is so much power in that, so look after it as you would yourself. And even just committing to it, just saying, I will look after my workspace. I will show the same care for my workspace that I show myself. And knowing that sign that when you declutter your desk at the end of the workday, that is when you are clocking off and you can go and enjoy the rest of your evening. Your workspace will never work for you unless it's based on what you want it to be. Don't copy someone else's. Base it on what makes you the most happy. Okay, so those were your tips. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and make sure you tune in to see week number 2 of the Productivity Challenge next week. And if you haven't grabbed your copy of my latest free guide, the Fab 4, this is your guidebook for learning the 4 daily non-negotiables I prioritize in order to help me create balance in my daily schedule. So this is the manual for which tasks you should be prioritizing on a daily basis and what that looks like for you. Plus, there's an exercise in there as well called the to-do list detox, which is going to give you some options for how you can add these things into your daily routine so you can have a well-rounded, balanced day every day and live that boss lifestyle. The link to that is in the description below. And a question for you, what are some ways that you keep your workspace tidy? I just shared 14 of them with you that I personally have found to be life-changing, but maybe you have one of your own. So definitely let me know that in the comments below. That's all for today, bosses. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it as always. Subscribe for those boss vibes, be grateful for what you have, and show up for yourself every single day. You just bossed it.